Hey guys, welcome to me getting comfortable in my chair to Sippin and Spillin with Sid and Mike from 3 Mississippi. Thank you for joining us today.
I don't have any ice in my cup.
You can't make that sound?
It's cold.
It's cold like your soul. So we had a good day today. We had some decent barbecue earlier.
We did. Very liberating thing happened. I gotta tell you guys. I gotta be honest. Because most of the time I lie to you. No. Some of you guys are from rural country areas, and you're gonna think this is absolutely hilarious. Some of you guys that are watching this from the cities are gonna totally understand. So, you know, like I said, on previous videos, I grew up in Southeast Tennessee, and there are things that I have forgotten about freedom, having lived in California for as long as I did. There are things that I had forgotten, and I am reacclimating to freedom in some ways. And let me tell you what happened today that I think is amazing. We've been going through... this is going to be a long story.
This will be,
actually,
yeah.
It's going to be a long story.
You asked him what time it was. He's going to build you that clock. Here we go.
We're going to post a video on 3 Mississippi in a few days, on Wednesday, about our plans, or rather our now lack of plans, for the workshop. We kind of went through and we were talking about some ideas we had, and we realized that there's some stuff we haven't quite thought through.
Yeah. Well, because so here, like, just to give a like kind of where we're at, I unpacked the house and like put the house together, right? So like the house is like done, livable, good, right? But all the stuff that's like pantry supplies, our pressure canner, all of his tools,
gardening stuff,
all that, you know, all his seed stuff
that I didn't need right away,
stuff that we didn't need like day one, right, are still in boxes or crates or containers, sort of quasi stacked and spread about between the workshop.
Mostly just kind of tossed randomly.
Yeah, because we've dug through them looking for certain items,
right?
Partially. But we haven't like fully organized them yet, and so there's a lot of like cardboard boxes that have now been emptied, that were kind of stocked over there, which I was getting real tired of looking at, but he kept saying save them because I'm gonna use them for my garden. So yesterday he had Frankie take the flattened ones and use on the already sort of started garden area over here. It's kind of...
That's a whole nother topic, actually.
Yeah, but it has to do with
there's a spot where the previous owner had a garden. It's not where I'm going to have a garden long term, but it's a good spot for me to just do my garlic this winter and worry about a new garden location in the spring. So yeah, so we broke down a bunch of those boxes, and Frankie laid them all out on top of that plot to kind of, you know, drown the sunlight out and kill out some weeds and stuff on there before I plant garlic. But I was struggling with the amount of trash that we had, the amount of boxes, the amount of, you know,
debris, if you will,
moving debris
specifically. Yes.
And I was thinking about how we're going to dispose of this, and then it dawned on me, I'm going to burn it, just like everybody else does in the country.
Everybody else, you drive by down the county roads and you see burn piles on the side of the road.
I don't know if you guys can see the remnants of a burn pile behind me.
I don't know if they can see it or not, because it's still burning and smoking, but
there's some remnants behind us. But it was so liberating to just pile this stuff up in a pile and burn it.
Burn it down.
Because we couldn't do that where we left.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too, because I even said to him, I was like, can you imagine, like, because this is still fire season,
right?
Like where we're from, right? Back there. So like you even think twice about in your fire pit making a fire in the summertime.
Somebody calls the fire department.
Because somebody will call the fire department on you. Or because if it gets real windy, sometimes we get the Santa Ana winds in the fall when it's real dry during fire seasons, and you're like, oh, you know what? We can't build a fire because everybody will die and the whole world will burn. So it's kind of like we feel like we're being naughty because we built a fire in
Right.
fire season, but we're not there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you know it's interesting. I mean,
Frankie was perturbed because she was like, "There's no marshmallows."
yeah, but you
that's not
know
the kind
those
of fire.
boxes
Yeah,
had
you
like
don't-
tape on them,
Yeah,
and like
those
we're
marshmallows are not going to taste.
we're
very
not
good.
cooking marshmallows on
Yeah.
that kind of fire. But you know, people around here, like the previous owner, he would, you know, every couple of years he would burn sections of along the creek, and I see all kinds of burn marks out by the pond where you get that mat of pine straw under there.
Yeah.
People around here just burn to clean and control.
Right.
It's normal.
It's normal. Yeah. Well, like even in the creek video, I think that right before you see Mike get attacked by the wasps, I'm looking at a burned out tree that Barry had burned out that was over by the creek there. So I mean, there's tons of areas like that. In fact, while I was here visiting, he was burning a section. So.
And I'm actually going to burn. That the pond is really low right now. We haven't had rain in over a week, and we've got about another 7 to 10 days on the forecast right now with no rain. So while that pond is low, I'm going to get in there with a good heavy landscape rake and rake some of that organic material out of the pond and get it up onto the shore.
A lot of pine needles.
Yeah, the pond is turning into pine needle tea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to thin some of those pine trees out around that pond, but I'm going to rake as much of those as I can out and get them raked up onto the shoreline, and then use these dry next several days of no rain to let those dry out. Burn them!
Burn them!
Burn them!
Burn them! Yeah. I think Mississippi has unlocked his inner pyromaniac.
That's not true.
No.
No. It's just, you know, fire is an awesome tool.
It's a cleansing thing.
It's
yeah,
a cleansing
it
thing.
Can be.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have to have a healthy respect for it and be careful, and you know, don't do it like in a place where it's going to catch something else on fire that you don't want on fire.
Right, and it's really good for the environment as well. The potash is good
for your chickens to dust in, for your animals.
The animals enjoy any bits of charcoal that are created and left over. There's
minerals in there that they need,
it's all good.
that they crave. So yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, all kinds of good things. And then it's cool too because then it's gone. Like you don't have to try to haul it away to the dump or figure out, you know.
Can you imagine if I would have paid money to haul away all that cardboard?
No, thank you.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, no. Well, we wouldn't have done that, but because I kept for weeks, I was like, can we just burn this? Because I know everybody burns stuff around here. He's like, no, we need to save them for now because he did want to use some for the garden. But then we realized as we were unpacking more things that we had more than we needed to do the garden area. And how long do we really want to keep a stack of cardboard flattened boxes, right?
Right.
Yeah. But now it's burned. It's done. So we got something else cool. So we showed you guys last week, I think it was, our neighbor Alan, who does the metal work, had made like a little prototype of the Mississippi ornament thing. And we were talking about the bottle opener aspect of it. And so he worked on that and he made another one that we're going to test out right now because we can. Because we can.
Yeah, any of you guys that saw that, let's not assume that everybody that's watching this saw that video.
So, yeah, that's true. So, he made these 3 Mississippi, which we had talked about this being another logo that I wanted to do too. So, he made one of these as like an ornament. He's got a little hole punched through the top there so you could put like a lanyard through if you wanted to hang it or whatever. And I had said, hey, it would be really cool if somewhere in there it opened bottles, whether it was on the bottom or in the 3 or somewhere. And then he did the scorched, which I guess I'm showing it to you guys backwards, I'm realizing right now as I'm looking at it. There we go. So he did the scorched metal on it, and I think it looks really cool. So this bottom part, if you can see where my thumb is, does not look like the way the bottom of the state of Mississippi looks anymore.
He deviated from the state from outline down here at the very bottom in order to create the bottle opener.
And we'll pop his Etsy link down below again. You can see he makes all kinds of cool signs and wrench racks and things like that. Anyway, so he made this for us. We saw him today because we had lunch with him after church. And let's see if I can figure out how to use it. I feel awkward. Am I doing this right?
Yeah, but now you're pulling towards you. Take the hook, put it in your palm.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then push away from you.
Okay. I don't know if that's how I do it. I usually go like
You're,
that.
again, doing it backwards, Frankie.
But I don't like it that
There
way.
you go.
It feels awkward to me.
You know what else is awkward?
Your face. There we go. See, I don't normally I do
I mean,
it.
you made that look really hard.
It was not that hard.
To the people.
To the people. But I'm used to having a longer, I'm used to using like a church key. So it's a little different. But that's pretty cool. I opened your drink.
Yeah, I could tell as soon as I engaged that was going to be quick and easy. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And it's still drinkable. So that's what the important. Anyway, so we'll put a link. We don't have these available yet to the peoples. We're still kicking around ideas with him. He might put that on his Etsy shop.
If you messaged him on his Etsy shop and said, "Hey, can I get one of those 3 Mississippis?" He might make you one, even though we haven't completed.
Like officially, yeah.
Yeah, you won't see this on his Etsy.
Yeah, it's not listed on his Etsy.
He hasn't posted it there because
He's
we're
got
still.
cool stuff on his Etsy though.
Yeah, we're still working out what's the final end result going to be, and we're getting close.
Yeah.
We're getting close.
We're getting closer and closer every day. But anyway, that was pretty cool. He gave that to us today, so now I got a new bottle opening. Score.
Oh, what else?
What,
we had a list of.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about like.
See how much we can get through.
Yeah, we can do it. I can do it. No, so it's funny to us a little bit and very. Okay, sorry guys, I had to run upstairs and get a new battery because we were in the middle of a sentence and it just went beep 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 and died because apparently. I thought I had one bad battery, but now apparently I have 2 bad batteries, so I have to investigate that later. But I digress. So, as we were saying, we've had a lot of people that are from northern Mississippi or live in northern Mississippi that have reached out to us like, oh, welcome to the area. Everybody's been super sweet and welcoming. And it's kind of funny because we've never even in our little area of California that we were in, I maybe over the course of all the years we've been doing this had, I could count on one hand the amount of people that were like, oh,
that lived close by.
That are like, we live near you. Like, I recognize you talking about this or that, or like, we know Ramona, blah, blah, blah. It was just nobody in our area that really watched us or
Right.
Whatever.
Most of the people that were watching what we were doing were people back east, people in the South,
right.
People in Texas, people
right.
in Tennessee.
A few in more like rural areas in Northern California. There was a few of those, but yeah, not a whole lot of people were watching us like in our home state at the time. So it's been really cool to like have everybody reaching out, and I've been trying. It's really hard because you get so many like messages on like social media, like on through Mississippi page on like Facebook, for example, or on like IG. I get so many messages every week, wonderful people reaching out, mentioning things or offering help or assistance in something. And I'm trying, and I just want everybody to know, I'm trying so hard to keep up with it and to respond
Who's who, yeah.
and keep up with who's who, because there's a lot of people that some of them go by their like their screen name or maybe their channel name, or maybe it sounds like a channel name, but it's not a channel. It's just what they go by on social media. It's like, it's really hard for me to sort of keep track of, Bob is with the Backyarders Homestead or, this or that, you know what I mean? So it's really hard to kind of keep it all straight. I'm trying really hard. So I just hope nobody gets like offended or whatever if I get a little bit mixed up.
We don't put together with who you
yeah.
are. Like, especially a couple of these folks there. They have a channel name, and then they'll email us, and it's a different name.
Yeah. And it's like, wait a minute, who's that again? Or I remember that was so and so, and they made that, they said this or whatever. So it's really hard. And then sometimes, and then we have to be careful on top of that with everybody being so wonderful and welcoming. There's a certain amount which we've had over the course of time. You get every once in a while, you get a creeper. Just
we've had them.
You get them every once in a while. You got to block somebody, So just trying to be cognizant of the fact that I know 99.999% of the people reaching out are good people that are just like us, that are, regular.
But if you reach out and ask for our phone number, we're probably not going to give it to you until we've
We verified that
had some communication with you for a while and figure out, who you are.
Yeah,
And
it's just a little bit, especially.
And if you ask us where we live, we're probably not going to tell you.
Yeah.
We're in Chickasaw County, Mississippi.
Yeah, and that's as detailed as we feel comfortable getting out into the world. And I'm sure you guys understand, those of you who are watching this go, oh yeah, of course. Like, and I know, like, and I'm the same way. It's like if I see somebody that I watch or that I'm interacting with, I'll be like, I feel like I know them even though I've never met them or whatever. There's that comfort level that you feel of, or that familiarity, I guess. But, especially if it's not just because it's not just the two of us, I should say. If we have Frankie to think about too. So it's, always a safety issue of, not becoming a head and freezer from that 0.001% of somebody who might
if we don't recognize the car coming up the driveway, I'm coming out with a gun.
Yeah. That's accurate.
Just is what it is.
Yeah. So, but I do want to say everybody that's reached out has been very welcoming. Everybody, I feel like the people that have reached out or left comments that live in Mississippi have just been, like, welcome to our state. Thank you for, a lot of people just saying, thank you for
shining a good light on Mississippi.
That people, I think it's, and
a few saying stop it.
A few saying stop it, like, we don't want people to know.
Yeah, which I get
too.
But we can't.
We can't just
stop
say,
it.
We're in Nebraska.
This is our channel. This is what we do. So we're gonna spill it.
Yeah, but I do like that. People have been very happy to have, like, people be excited about their state. I think that's pretty cool. That they've even said, like, it's cool to see it through your eyes. Like, I take some of these things that you guys are bringing up in videos after living here my whole life for granted, and to kind of see you guys mentioning them and getting excited about them, it's sort of making me excited about my state again. And I like that.
And in most of the country, Mississippi flies under the radar.
I think so too. People, it's sort of, we were saying the other day, I was like, it's almost like it's a forgotten state. Like, people don't think about it. And I think it's because, it sort of mirrors, shape-wise on the map. I think it blends in when people are looking and they see, like, oh, Louisiana and the Mississippi. It's just like a mirror of each other. And, like, Alabama, it's like that whole kind of, they look similar on the map, and they're down there in the corner.
I don't know. I think it's because Mississippi doesn't really have any other than Jackson. Even Jackson isn't that big. Major cities. There are a lot of cool things in Mississippi, but there are not any, like, giant cool things.
No, but there's a lot of things that people don't realize. Like, we were talking about, like, Mossy Oak started in Mississippi.
A lot of people don't realize.
What's that? The Delta Blue Jeans. I think that's the whole name, Delta Blue Jeans. I hope I'm getting that right. But they're, like, a locally sourced and made. Yeah, these Drake shirts are made. It's a company in Mississippi. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's come out of Mississippi that it's like, oh, I didn't know that was from here.
But there's no city the size of, Dallas or San Diego,
which is good, because generally speaking, that's one of the problems of when you get too many big cities in a state, they start to sort of take over the state.
Yeah, the cities are where the people who vote differently than we vote tend to
hang
live.
Out. Yeah.
And so when you get too many of those big cities in a state, I mean, look at Texas is struggling right now.
Texas
is in a fight. Texas is in a fight.
Yeah, they keep everybody saying, like, oh, these states are turning purple.
Texas is like 49% the wrong way right now. It is close, and it's all because of just a couple big cities. Yeah. So I think Mississippi got it figured out when they didn't, like, try to build massive big cities.
Right, but they have the cities that they do have. Now, we haven't been to Jackson, but just speaking from Tupelo, where we've gone several times now, it's got just enough.
It's got what we need.
It's got just enough. I still don't like going there more than I have to.
I don't think it's like, more than
size-wise, like population-wise, or
population.
What do you mean?
I bet it's not only.
I don't think people.
I bet it's only 40,000 people.
I don't think. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't get the feeling that.
I'm gonna look it up after this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious now too. I don't get the impression that there's a few neighborhoods and stuff, and there's housing developments there that are, like, going up right on the outside of kind of downtown Tupelo that are, like, new.
But when you go through Tupelo and you go on up to where Scruggs is,
Right. It's
and
all
the Home Depot,
industrial.
it's all industrial up there. Yeah, I don't think Tupelo might not even be 30,000 people.
Yeah, and there's no traffic the busy time, like traffic time is not traffic. Like what we're used to anyway.
And the nearest town to us is only 3,000 people, 3,500 people.
Yeah.
And they have a Walmart. But, you know, that Walmart pulls people in
Walmart.
from, you know,
all the little dots.
areas around. Yeah. So
all the little towns that aren't towns.
Yeah, I prefer all the small towns.
Yeah.
I do. I don't need to live close to. In fact, one of the criteria when we were moving was we do not want to be
too close to a
too
city.
close to a
Big city.
Big city. We don't want our trip into town to be into a, you know, Memphis or a Dallas or a, you know,
you don't want to be Memphis
or an Atlanta or, you know, any of those.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and honestly, like, let's be real, like, you can hear the bugs right now.
I know.
Like, you can hear the birds, and like, you don't get that in the city. You just don't. And I love coming out, sitting out here and just listening to it. It's pretty. You know?
And we are sitting underneath the most gorgeous
big oak tree.
Big moss-covered oak tree.
Yeah.
And
is that why they call it mossy oak? That never dawned on me is that like a thing?
Yeah.
I'm not the tree girl.
Okay.
Don't look at me like I'm nutty.
Right,
I just didn't realize.
Good for you. See all that moss
growing
all over that tree?
Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah.
I saw it before, but it just didn't. I thought maybe it was sick.
No.
Okay.
No. As we close this out, we'll pan this camera up and show you this tree.
With the moss. The moss. We have our very own mossy oak tree.
In the backyard.
I have my very own mosquito bite on my ankle right now. That's kind of making me angry. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, of course, the 1 little inch of skin I had between my sock and my pant leg. That's where it got me. Booger. Anyway. Yeah. So, we like it here. And
we love it here.
We love it here. And it's, you know, we have our work cut out for us moving forward. We're kind of at that point now where we made some decisions. You'll see on Wednesday, we talked about some stuff. I think we still have some things we kind of have to hammer out about the workshop.
Well, this is a spilling channel. Is there anything about Wednesday we want to spill?
Well, that's what I'm saying right now.
We can spill. We figured out what our first build project.
That's true. We did figure out what
is going to be.
Well,
and it's probably going to be soon.
It's what he wants it to be.
It's what makes the most sense, I believe.
That's what. Yeah. Okay.
You don't agree?
I don't, but that's okay.
Oh, this video might have just got a little bit longer. We're gonna have to hash this out.
Well, no, it's just.
What do you think the first thing I need to build should be?
You know what I think it should be.
We agreed that we were not going to build a chicken coop until this winter, and we were not going to get chickens until spring.
You agreed.
Okay. Then you lied when you agreed to that reasonable, idea up front.
Yeah. Okay.
She just wants to get all the animals and then solve for a bunch of stuff.
No, that's not true. But I want to have a safe place to like put the geese, and that's all I'm thinking is I want to get that done. I don't know. That's a whole different thing. But I think he's gonna build the cold room first. I don't know how involved that or like how long that's gonna take, because I don't know what he's picturing exactly for the cold room to be considered completed. In my mind, I don't know exactly what
needs to be really cold in there.
Well, I got that. Like
that
you need
way.
an air conditioner unit and the cool bot in there, and you gotta insulate it really well, and you gotta have the sweepy thing on the door so it's insulated, and then
I'm probably gonna buy a cooler door.
Oh, okay. Well, you can buy a cooler door. So there's that, and then we're gonna make.
And it needs to be as close to airtight as possible.
That's okay.
Because air will try to normalize.
Right.
If it's a big temperature difference on two sides of the wall and there's a hole in the wall, it will try to normalize.
Right. So then, after that, but in the process of that, you have to like organize your other stuff and find homes for things so that you can build said cool room. Correct? Because you have to make room for it, right? And then after that, Hey, you making that noise? Or is that like a squirrel behind me?
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. Anyway, then what's the next thing you're gonna build?
I don't know.
Can it be a chicken coop? Or a barn? Or a situation? For the animals?
It's going to be, probably.
Okay, good.
Probably.
Because I want to get my animules going.
I feel like the first animals I want to get are going to be chickens. And they're going to be the layers, the laying hens.
Right.
And
So no meat birds this year.
I didn't say that. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go back and repeat what I just said.
No. The first ones that you want to get. But
Okay.
the reason I'm saying it that way is because I have to, if I'm going to order meat chicks, I have to put in for it before they sell out.
They're not going to sell out.
Okay. They've sold out before.
See, this is what she does to me every year. This is how she manipulates me into getting more of things. She tells me, oh, I have to put the order in now or else they're going to sell. I guarantee you, when I decide in April that I have time to build a chicken tractor, if she can't find meat birds, I will find them.
Okay.
Even if we got to go to Tupelo and buy them from Tractor Supply Store.
Okay. That's fine. We'll figure it out. I can always put the order in and I can bump the order out.
What I'm not going to, we have no idea how many meat birds we would do. We haven't had the whole we haven't had that conversation yet.
All the meat birds. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Calm down.
How many chicken tractors am I going to be building? Which
All the
chicken
chicken
tractor
tractors.
design am I going to be building?
The kind closer to the kind we made most recently, not the first kind. I don't
There's
like
a
the
lot
first
we
kind.
haven't worked out there.
Okay. We'll figure
The only thing we've worked out is which pasture we're going to use to pasture.
And that's progress.
That is progress.
We didn't kill each other.
That is progress.
That's progress. All right. I just want to make sure that like those things are up and coming. So I'm going to take the time. I think what's going to happen while you're working on your workshop and your cold room, I'm going to do some things in the house that I want to get done, like changing out some of those knobs and the switches and maybe repainting those rooms, those main rooms that I want a different color, and moving some pictures and things around when I patch the walls there and stuff. I think that might be going to happen while you're working on that project.
Okay.
So that I can get that all done by the time we're ready to start doing that stuff together.
And look, if we don't do meat birds this year, we don't do meat birds this year. Like, we can't expect
I know.
that we're going to, all the things that we want to do, we're going to do this first year. We can't. We will fail at something.
I realize that. But I miss having.
I know. You want to do all the things.
I want to do all
now.
the things. It's not that I want to do them all now, but I want to do some of them soon. And I feel like he just keeps going like this to me.
Give me an example of that. Because we agreed that I was not going to build any projects when we got here. So what have I pushed out?
Just talking about it. More serious.
We've done lots of serious talking. We are solving for things. It's a process. It's not like we can have one conversation and have it all figured out.
I know. I just am antsy.
You have unrealistic
your
expectations.
Your stuff is like happening and my stuff is not happening.
What if my stuff is happening?
All your stuff.
What if my stuff has happened?
All your things.
Name one.
Your tractor and your...
I bought a tractor.
You bought 2 tractors.
To use for
And
your farm. Have I used it for anything yet?
Yeah, you bush hogged your
I
garden.
went and tested it out and bush hogged like 100 feet.
Yeah.
I'm preparing to be able to manage the things that you want.
I know. I just like to give you a hard time. It's cute.
See, I'm doing the preparing
Oh, Lord.
and the thinking
Okay.
and the solving for, and you're just over there snapping your fingers,
No.
saying do.
No. That's not accurate.
It's pretty accurate.
That's not accurate.
Beautiful mossy oak tree.
It is. You
Believe
said
it's
you were
a-
going to show the people.
It's a red oak tree. I don't know which variety
They
of red
can't see
oak.
the tree. You're just staring up above us like we're
I
special.
believe that's an eastern
All right,
red
guys.
oak.
I'm gonna.
She's gonna say bye-bye, and then I'm gonna show you the tree.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Wednesday's video on 3 Mississippi will be showing you the workshop and the garage and kind of our plans like we were just talking about. But right now, Mike's gonna show you a tree.
All right, so this is the, go stand by that tree.
Oh my gosh.
I want to see how big it is.
It's bigger than me.
That
It's a
is
tree.
some variety of,
What?
I believe it's an eastern red oak.
It's a tree.
Yeah, it's pretty good size.
It's a big tree.
And,
it's a BAT.
And you see all the,
Big ass tree.
you know, the, see how tall I can get. See the moss.
There's a chain growing through that limb.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a chain growing through that limb. Actually, the chain's not what's growing. It's the limb that's growing.
Okay. Semantics.
Bye-bye.